Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mission for Fishing. Sorry it has been a while. Finally today is a video that I've been waiting to make for probably about 7 months now. And I wasn't gonna make today's video until next spring, but we got the ball rolling on a couple things. To keep up on schedule, I gotta show you this as soon as possible. So, without further ado, this is my new rig. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that we've done a lot of small boat restorations. We do a lot about small boat content, which is fine. They're great for an afternoon out on the water. I mean, you really can't go wrong if you just got you and a buddy or you just want to head out for an afternoon. But when it comes to making YouTube videos, when it comes to bringing multiple people out, when it comes to needing to make a video when the weather doesn't want to cooperate or needing to go to a bigger lake, they have limitations. So I've been in the market for a bigger boat for a while now. After doing, well, a couple years of searching, this is the boat that I think is going to be basically the best rig for what we're trying to do here on Mission for Fishing. And we're going to get into that and we're going to explain this a little bit. So I apologize if I'm skipping over one or two different things. Feel free to ask questions down in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. This is a 1987 Fast Tracker Guide V16. I think that's all. Guide special. I don't remember the exact model of it. Basically, it's a deep V16 with a mod V hull. I don't know. There's not much to say. It's a 16-footer. It's got a VN front hull. If you come around to the back here, you'll notice on the back, this is not a deep V boat at all. This is actually very much so a flat bottom type boat, which is what I wanted. Why I wanted to go with a compromise like this is because since I live in Minnesota and I fish the North Country, we deal with big waters, we deal with rough waters. I wanted a V front end so I can cut through the waves, but I also didn't want to sacrifice stability when it comes to fishing some smaller bodies of water. So I wanted a nice flat bottom to the boat, or relatively flat, to give me a ton of stability. And this hull has both of those. So in combination, I think that's going to give me a lot of performance for the type of fishing that I do. Now, is it going to ride like a true deep V? No, it's going to be rough. Is it going to be as stable as a, flat bottom boat? No, not quite, but it's going to be pretty close. And, really what this hull is it's a good compromise between them. And, well, if you guys look at the inside is where I'm really excited and where, well, you'll be seeing a lot of this boat in the future. So before we jump into the inside, one thing I got to say is somewhere along the line of prior owners, somebody did a lot of work to this and then somebody totally neglected it. This was sold to me from a family friend. Huge shout out to Ernie and Barb. Wonderful people. If it was not for them letting me know that they were selling this boat, we would not be making today's video. Some prior owner, not the previous owners, basically went through and they chopped this whole thing up. They did a whole bunch of different mods to it, some of which are kind of questionable, some of which I actually was going to do, so I got to give them credit where credit's due. In combination with all of these mods, it must have sat outside for like 5 years. This thing's pretty nasty. We've pulled some things out of this boat. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. There goes a lot of the smell already. I'm gonna get antivirus from this. Okay, well, hey, it's gone. We also found the old tenants and they have been, well, put in their place. This boat is pretty bad on the inside, but the outside is really nice. So they actually repainted it. It's like this black paint, but it's got like this silver sparkle to it. Also, yes, these lines are pink and these have to go on. This font is horrendously bad. We might be changing that up in the future, but for now, it looks really nice. I actually just washed the boat yesterday, so it's looking pretty good right now. So now we kind of covered a little bit of the outside. Let's show you guys what's inside. So now that we're in the boat, you can kind of see this looks nothing like how it was stock. Basically, let's show you what we do got. So originally this had this front deck up front. None of this was added. This had this open concept here. These seats weren't here. None of these storage solutions were in the back. And the deck, which my cameraman is standing on, thank you, Josh. And this added deck all the way back here did not exist. So they've added a ton of stuff to this boat. Let's start from the back and let's work forward, I suppose. So here that we're in the back of the boat, you can see this added deck back here. Looks like they went out and they framed out the back of the boat here, reinforcing the transom. At one point they replaced the transom, so it looks like the transom's in good shape. So we have this added deck solution back here where we do have the part for that, but some of the ways that they built the boat here, weird things here, like I don't know what they were really thinking in the long run, but it's rough back here, and all the screws are basically gone. They didn't use stainless hardware for a lot of this. I like the concept of where they were going with it, but it's just the execution was a little questionable. I'm sure at the time it might have been a lot nicer, but after sitting out in the elements, it's kind of deteriorated away. This is where the seats originally were. So this added storage solution here, which is, well, actually tackle trays. I have an anchor in here right now. But you can see, you can actually slide a Plano. I'm not sure what the size of the box. It's a pretty good size Plano, and you can fit 3 of them in there. So every hatch that's like this can house 3 Planos. So you can see 3 more Planos can be housed back here. They actually added this as questionable. As I pointed out before, we had a bit of a rodent problem in this rig. So the mice got into this foam, and they kind of just eat it up and shoot it. And so I think a lot of this styrofoam, I think after doing that, it's holding on to a lot of water, which is really making this boat a lot heavier than it should be. It's not making it safe. But in the middle here, we do have a factory live well. It is December, so this is completely full of ice that I should have drained. Anyways, moving forward, I believe we have a 12-gallon gas can here. Plenty enough to get a guy around for quite a while and not have too many issues. Oh yeah, we probably should have opened that up a couple days ago. Whoever owned this boat moved the seating forward for some reason on here. And I kind of get why. It kind of would give you a little more space back here to add maybe storage and whatnot. I mean, this is more of a traditional, you know, bass boat type setup, which I think is where the guys were going with this, and I totally get them at that. So here you had factory, I believe this was rod storage. So you had this factory hatch, and this would have been screwed to the boat, but you can see they added some hinges and like, why they flip opposite directions, I won't figure out. Just goofy little things like that, but I suppose it works. The console on this boat is shot. It's the original console. They moved it forward. One interesting thing about this boat is nothing electrical works. The only things that work is the outboard runs. We have a 50 horse Chrysler on the back. Do a few things to it this summer to get it to tune performance, but it's running good. It's running mint. We do have a Minn Kota 55-pound thrust. We'll cover a little bit more in detail. Those are the only 2 things that work on the boat. Built-in lighting that came with the boat, bilge pumps, aerators, live well pumps, surround sound in the boat. None of it works. Don't know why. I think that might have something to do with it. I'm not sure where that came from, but yeah. So this whole thing is going to have to be completely rewired and completely gone through, which is a big pain in the butt, but hey, that's kind of why it's here. Moving up, this is added to the front, this storage solution here. You can see we have both seat pedestal mounts 4 days in this thing. Wherever you want to sit and fish, you got options. Here is an added hatch. They use 2x4s to frame this out. I mean, it works. This isn't how you build boats. Like that's not how it's supposed to be done. So I mean, it works. It's probably actually the cleanest hatch on the boat that I would trust keeping my stuff, which is why I have literally almost everything in the boat in there. Stepping up here, the floor is completely soft. We got some black mold growing up front. There is nothing left of, well, the front plywood deck here. So the whole subfloor is rotted out. So we're gonna have to change it all. The carpet is, well, completely degraded. It's just shot. Stepping up to the front deck here, this originally had no storage whatsoever. So everything up on the front here is added. So here we have 2 more added tackle solutions. They're the same size hatches that were in the back of the boat. We got 2 of them right here. I actually don't mind them too much, although they are horribly ugly on the top. And then the last thing that's basically really modded up at the front here is we have a second live well. Not sure, number 1, why they have a second live well to the boat. Number 2, why it flips out to here. So I don't know if they like separated out like their different bags with whoever in the front, whoever in the back, or if this was for bait and that was for the fish. I'm not sure. I don't know why it's here, but kind of weird. And then at the very front of this deck, we do have a Minn Kota 55-pound thrust Power Drive V2. This does have the optional co-pilot remote. So I do have a remote in addition to a foot pedal to this thing, so I can control the boat from the back of the boat. I can control it from the front here. Really great system. I will say though, one thing about this that I'll never understand is this releasement mechanism that Minn Kota came up with. The worst design ever. Yeah, we do have added speakers up front. We got this added thing up here. We got added courtesy lights. Oh, look at that. The bulb's not even... Yeah, so there's the bulb. That wasn't even attached. So, yeah, this is the inside of the boat. The carpet is all not original. This is super cheap indoor-outdoor carpet. You can see it's actually starting to fray down here, and well, this thing was basically soaked in mouse urine and feces for the better half of who knows how long. The smell was horrible to begin with, but it's been getting better, which is good. We're making positive strides here. So, all right, everyone. So that is basically the new rig. Actually found this 1980s year model, late 80s, and I was cruising around on Facebook. I was gonna go meet with a guy who had one of these, and his was stock, and I was gonna do all these different mods to it. I had a family friend that I hadn't talked to in years call me out of the blue, like 5 minutes before I was gonna message this guy, and said, hey, I have this boat, which was the exact boat model that I was looking for, had all the mods that I was thinking of doing. I have it, it's in very bad shape, but there's potential there. Are you interested? So immediately I said yes. And after some talking and after, you know, going back and forth and visiting this thing, I ended up picking it up, and we had to completely go through the trailer. Trailer is a piece of junk. Somebody did not care about servicing bearings. So that's not why I bought this boat. I bought this boat because this boat has the bones for what I think this could be a very good future rig. As I mentioned, it's got the hull I was looking for performance. It's got the space that I've been desperately wanting for such a long time. And the timing of everything worked out so well. I am super grateful and thankful for Ernie and Barb for letting me know about this boat when they were going to sell it, and letting me be the first one to know about it, so that we can hopefully restore this rig to what it could be and give this boat some much needed TLC and love. Hope you guys enjoyed these episodes. Special shout out and thank you to Ernie and Barb for selling me this boat, cameraman Josh, cameraman Kate, and Parker for coming out here and helping me film this today. This is the new project boat, and I'm sorry I kept this a secret for such a long time, but I've been waiting for a lot of things to line up and properly get into place so that we can, well, make sure that this thing happens. So mission of the day was to show you guys the new tracker, give you guys the new boat reveal. I've been dying to get this out there, and I know a couple people have been wanting me to, you know, show this on camera, and so finally we got it. I think with that, we can safely say today's mission would be a mission complete.